play? Do you get on the show floor and play a lot of games? Play here?
I mean, I'm definitely a gamer, but I'm not a fanatic, I wouldn't say. I like playing games, but I'm so busy with making music that, you know, every time I feel like I'm playing a game, it really has to be with another guys or on the tour bus or, you know, when I'm sitting at home playing games, I really feel like I'm wasting valuable time that I can, you know, make music. So
Right.
I don't really game at home so much. It's more on tour, all the downtime, you know,
Right.
before the shows.
So do you guys have a new album coming out?
Called Transgressions. Will be out in August.
Cool.
End of August.
Are you going in a different direction, or are you straight up?
Well, it's definitely Fear Factory, but I think it's more. We didn't like, you know, we didn't really specify like the typical Fear Factory riffs. I think there's a lot more variety, like in the songwriting and riffs, and I think it's not just you know, when you hear your typical Fear Factory riff, you're like, you know, okay, that's Fear Factory. But I think there's going to be some people be surprised, like, oh wow, I wouldn't expect that from Fear Factory. You know? So I think in a certain way we kind of evolved and, you know, to help for new things and try different ideas.
How does the songwriting process go?
It's basically just Ray and I getting together with an MPC and a guitar, low volume, nothing really major. And he starts writing drum programs, and I start writing riffs, and we combine parts and, you know, see what sticks and what becomes really good and magical, and keep those parts and just start building, kind of like brickwork. You know, you lay bricks and foundation, and you start building a house on it.
Cool. So what do you like better, working in the studio or touring?
I like both. Because once you're building something like in the studio, you just want to take it out on the road, you know what I mean? And once you're out on tour for a couple of years, you just want to go create the next thing, you know? So it's always kind of, it's probably the same thing with video game companies, you know? They work on a game for 2 years building something, and then once it's out, you know, they already like have their heads on making the next thing, so
right.
Movies, same thing, you know?
Cool. You want to talk about your tattoos at all?
Sure.
All right. Start on this arm.
It's all done by a guy in Australia called Dave Rand, and he's a very old school. He's actually an old school biker from Scotland, but he lives in Sydney, the south of Sydney, kind of like in the mountains over there. He does all this freehand.
Wow.
So, yes.
So he doesn't do any overlays?
No. So every time I go to Australia, I go to the same guy.
Cool.
So, he's like in his 60s, older man and stuff, but he's really like, you know, top of the line guy.
Cool. What about the other? Same thing, huh?
Only this piece. All the rest is just things I collected when I was a kid and like young, you know. Don't really know how to like combine your tattoos really nice, so it's kind of like plaster things together, but
right on.
You know, tattoos they never end. And they never get finished either.
Right. So you'll be done when your whole body's covered?
I feel like when I close my eyes, I'm still not going to be done with all that tattoos. It's just a never-ending battle.
Right.
Finish things and, you know, linking up with the same artist again that started something. My schedule is just hectic.